Well, thank you very, very much, Kathy. Thank you very much, Chairman Pallone. As Kathy mentioned, the USTelecom Broadband Heroes Award is meant to really single out and honor the women and men who have stood up and leaned in to support their communities through good times and also hard times with innovating around broadband. And this is our second annual award, and I'm really delighted to welcome our own Darby McCarty, who is CEO of Smithville Communications based in Indiana. She is one of our first recipients of last year's Broadband Heroes Award. And she is a hero herself, working so hard to deliver broadband to the rural communities in particular that she serves in our heartland. Darby is going to announce the other 2020 USTelecom Broadband Hero Awards, and they are part of a long and very proud line of frontline broadband workers who this year, beyond so many years, have really been heroes all.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Darby McCarty, CEO and Chair of Smithville Communications, a family-owned Indiana-based broadband provider. I'm also the Secretary of USTelecom's Board of Directors. That video we just watched captures what all of us who deploy broadband across the country feel in our hearts. Now more than ever, a tremendous sense of gratitude for the dedication of our frontline broadband workers who, often in harm's way, continue working during the pandemic to make sure we all stay connected. Thanks to each and every one of you. It's nice to be with you today, well, at least over our nation's broadband networks. I hope that next year we'll have a chance to visit in person. In the meantime, as one of last year's USTelecom Broadband Heroes, it is my distinct pleasure to announce the 2020 awards honoring leaders making distinguished and game-changing contributions to connect our communities. This year, perhaps more than ever, the important role of broadband plays in our society has been made crystal clear. Just try to imagine living through these past months without it. The men and women we honor have gone above and beyond to ensure our families and communities can stay connected during this pandemic. So let's get started. I know there are many rural broadband providers like me with us today, so it's fitting that our next USTelecom Broadband Heroes Award goes to a person with a strong commitment to delivering 21st century broadband connectivity to her home state of Nebraska and communities across rural America. As the senior senator from Nebraska and a member of the Commerce Committee, Deb Fisher is a true leader in the Senate on the need for more investment in our broadband future. She understands that connecting unserved parts of America and supporting broadband providers like me who invest in that effort with smart bipartisan policies is key to our economic growth and our recovery from this pandemic. As a rancher herself, she knows firsthand the transformative role broadband plays in the life of our nation's farming and ranching communities. And she has been a tireless advocate for bipartisan solutions to connect all parts of America. Working across the aisle, she has worked relentlessly to advance the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund, reform the FCC Lifeline program, develop and grow the Internet of Things, and end online scams that are targeting too many of our citizens. Senator Fisher embodies the consumer-focused and common sense and meaningful role government can play to ensure communities are connected, no matter where, no matter what. On behalf of USTelecom and our member companies across the country, we're proud to honor Senator Deb Fisher with USTelecom's 2020 Broadband Hero Award. Our next USTelecom Broadband Hero Award is presented to Janelle Allison, Chief Operating Officer at Great Plains Communications. Like Senator Fisher, Great Plains also has its roots in Nebraska. Over its 110 years of operation, it has grown to be one of the largest privately owned broadband providers in the Midwest, serving over 200 communities, including in my own state of Indiana. Janelle is a critical part of that American success story. She represents the very best of what our industry of innovators is all about. Our commitment to keeping our neighbors connected through good times and bad. During the COVID crisis, Janelle has gone above and beyond, developing, directing, and leading companies' coordinated response to the pandemic. But from identifying areas where connectivity could be expanded, to supervising network resiliency to meet increased customer demand, to ensure trenches kept being dug and fiber kept being pulled. Janelle has been right there on the front lines, ensuring her teams could safely continue deploying broadband and maintaining networks so that communities in the Great Plains service areas could keep working, learning, and connecting. For her tireless work to support the entire Great Plains team and the customers who rely on its network, I am pleased to honor Janelle Allison as USTelecom's 2020 Broadband Hero. It's people like Janelle who are the real backbone of delivering connectivity. Always has been, always will be. Our next Broadband Heroes Award goes to Dr. Michael Hinojosa, Superintendent of the Dallas Independent School District. When the pandemic started forcing schools to close, Dr. Hinojosa and his team knew every student in his school district would need access to broadband connectivity to avoid a disruption in learning. So ever the bridge builder, he got to work with local broadband providers and community leaders and established Operation Connectivity, a public-private partnership to invest in and deliver broadband connections to Dallas Independent School District families in need during the COVID-19 crisis. Dr. Hinojosa's leadership and vision exemplifies how innovative partnerships with broadband providers along local, state, and national civic and business leaders can tackle some of our nation's most pressing challenges. Today, Operation Connectivity has scaled statewide and continues to expand in partnership with the Office of the Governor, educators statewide, and our broadband providers. For his dedication to his students and families, his teachers, his administrators, and the communities he serves, I am happy to announce that Michael Hinojosa is a USTelecom 2020 Broadband Hero. Our final USTelecom 2020 Broadband Heroes Award will be accepted by Julia Slocum, Vice President of Operations, Western Region at Smart City Networks, on behalf of the entire Smart City team. As an exclusive internet and telecommunications provider for more than 40 of the largest stadiums and convention centers across the country, the Smart Cities team knew they had a unique and critical role to play as the nation began shutting down in the early days of the pandemic. So, even as their own business came to a virtual halt, the women and men of Smart Cities stepped up and stepped in, providing internet connectivity to 17 convention centers that were being transformed into field hospitals, testing centers, and homeless shelters. Through the pandemic, Smart City team members have been working 12-hour shifts side by side with the U.S. Corps of Engineers, local hospitals, FEMA, and other government agencies to provide emergency services to thousands and thousands of our fellow citizens. As one of Smart City's senior operations executives, Julia has helped lead this charge during this time of crisis. She represents the deep commitment to service the Smart City team has displayed throughout this emergency. That is what they do. That is who they are. It's an honor to present this USTelecom 2020 Broadband Hero Award to the entire Smart City team for creating connected spaces so our other frontline workers can care for communities during COVID. Congratulations and thank you to each of our USTelecom Broadband Heroes. We are now going to move into the panel portion of today's forum for a conversation on new policies to promote broadband investment and innovation and achieve the national goal of universal connectivity. The panel will be moderated by my colleague and friend, USTelecom Board Chair and COO at BBT, Rusty Moore in rural West Texas. Rusty, take it away. The Zoom is yours.